Start out. It's gonna go over, it's gonna go in a second, so nobody can find the shoe.
Okay. Well, I took. Okay, so. Well,
Said nobody jump on it.
Okay, so heading in the right direction, content will start trickling in. There's still some stuff that's unassigned. I don't know how you guys are handling that portion of the hip parade. I don't,
I think we'll hammer some of that
yeah,
out tonight.
perfect. Is there anything else that you would like for me to do? I mean, we talked about the stuff the board we're pushing through at the board level.
Yeah.
Everything is agendized. Oh, keep going.
This way. I'm gonna talk about the village of Dan.
Dan, one of the notable residents, you're gonna interview Rudy, by the way.
I actually thought we should have Rick
I think.
interview Ruby.
Look at all these people.
They're so
Oh, it
notable.
looks so familiar. Must be a small town.
I made this, yes, I made
okay.
this today. I wanted to make you smile.
Yeah, you did. Oh, boy.
God, this is like unofficial Dan.
Right? Can we make a donation?
No.
So I think I have my marching orders.
Yeah, I think as long as everybody's on board and we think it's okay, has everybody seen it down there? You guys have all seen the traffic? We're good with the layout and everything?
Yeah.
It was good, yeah.
And Nicole, I know we were working on the alcohol permitting,
yeah.
so we can, if anybody on your team has any questions about that, it's a new process for me too, but we can work through it together. I checked in with Marshall Lee today about what his turnaround time is, and he said that he could get it, if I hand him the whole packet at once for all of these alcohol permits that we're doing, he could turn it around in a day.
Fantastic.
So.
Thank you.
Excellent. Gives me a data on where the uniform.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm in sweats and just hang out in the office.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So I'm gonna scoot, if that's okay with you. I'll work on the minutes tomorrow, so if anything comes up, I'll hear it. And if there's anything else you need from me, if anybody needs anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the smile.
All right, thanks for coming. Go feed my kids dinner.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. If anybody happened to see me yelling at my kids as I was driving here, yes, that was me.
Do you make sunglasses?
Okay, all right, so with that. Go be back. You're so not ready. I miss you. Let's put this on hold for a second. Let's get to Marshall Leach with the parade stuff, and then we'll kind of come back to this. We're gonna let him go if everybody is okay with that, so. Parade stuff. I have reached out to Pastor to verify that we can in fact use their parking lot. They have a meeting with their board on May 6th. So he doesn't see an issue with it, but he's gonna bring it up at the meeting and confirm, so we'll have official approval after that. I have not blasted the parade information yet until we get official confirmation, because I don't want to say that, yes, we're gonna start there, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we've got something else going on. So once we get their official okay, then we can start blasting out the parade sign up form that Michelle has created for this. So to give you an update, what we're talking about is the same parade route as the fire department used, starting at St. John's Church and coming down Main Street and then going to the fire department. The parade would start at 11:30. People would start lining up at 11 at St. John's. I don't anticipate it being terribly long, but
They'd be lining up in the road at 11 or?
in the parking lot at 11. Yeah, so the parking lot will be closed off and we'll be
So
coming.
you're probably looking for the route to be closed maybe at 11:15. What did you guys do?
Pretty much, I would say pretty much right at.
Right at
25, 11:30.
11:30, shut it.
We're gonna start, because that way. Yeah, that's what we typically have done, because we do for ours. I mean, because that's, I mean, obviously, with Martin, that's the main. You know, so last minute type of thing. Directed the other way, because also, once that starts going, and depending on how Many people are in the parade and with ours, and we overflowed and Laurel and stuff. And that's where the people are gonna be, it's when it shuts down.
Mhm.
So we'll be starting flushing those out. So yeah, last minute.
So, okay, obviously Waukesha changed the way we do things from a law perspective. One of the current standards is for us to block off the main thoroughfare with heavy equipment. I've got a conversation coming up in the next 2 weeks with, Chris and, our street department director to see what I've got available in that regard. Having a definite time might help that if I have to call on that heavy equipment from somewhere else. Because they're gonna want a time to be there, like if I'm getting dump trucks from the county.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gonna want a specific time to be there and park. And once I get that stuff in position, it's in position, it's not coming out until the parade is done. So, yeah, I could definitely do 11:25, but it will be 11:25.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think, you know, before the parade starts, I don't anticipate the parade being uber long. The fire department, while there was a lot of people in it, I think it went fairly quick. And we've got the program starting at Fireman's Park at 1. So between 11:30 and 1, we should be scooting our way down that way, so.
So, I do have a plan. It is gonna be pretty much the same plan as it was for the fire department, which is fine. I already have feelers out to port for their reserve units, and I talked to the sheriff about it last Monday to see what I can get from them. She just wants the final details on dates and times, which I believe I can give her after tonight. So, I should be able to get that, and it's just collecting the resources. Plan and how much I want to have. So how many resources I can gather. Obviously, there are some limitations, just the size of the community. We can't block every intersection with heavy equipment. That's just not practical for us. I think as long as we get the major routes covered, though, that should suffice. Specifically for Donia Avenue, possibly Milwaukee. Those are the only 2 real arterial routes that would be affected by this.
Yeah.
So, Hill Street, for example, I believe the dump truck,
You know,
Mhm.
yeah, probably not.
But then, I expect to have at least 2 from my department. I'm gonna be here all day. I've got Deputy Willie coming in for the parade. And he's gonna stay as long as he can that day, and hopefully get others. They gotta check their schedules as it gets closer. And then as this, already had discussions with the sheriff about getting some of her people.
That sounds good. So just to give you a full scope of everything. Parade at 11:30, program starts at 1 down at Fireman's Park. For the most part, everything will be held at Fireman's Park with the exception of the Baseball Association will be doing concessions and hopefully some kind of event at the baseball diamond down there during the day. Still some information to come from that, and then fireworks will be shot off from Marie Cross Field at night, and then everything should be back at Fireman's for the rest of the evening. So hopefully it's all contained.
It should be. It worked out well for the fire department, and that was well attended.
Yeah.
So,
Is there anything that you need from us? Anything further that we can help?
not at this time. The only thing that might come up, depending on my conversations with the street department, is about getting the barricades set up. It may be that we might need a volunteer or 2 to help set up barricades. You can pre-position the barricades. And we might need a few volunteers, though, just to set them up and block the road with them. I think once they're in place, the main ones we can handle. I'll probably be at Milwaukee and Fredonia Avenue, like I was for the fire department, when I can set up barricades. But like some of the more obscure streets, like Hill Street, you know, he's gonna have a lot to do with the staff there, especially if he's bringing his trucks. His guys are gonna be getting the trucks, not the barricades. So.
I think we can definitely help find some strong young lads to help set up some barricades, so.
Yeah, we can get some vests for them. Stay in there and they'll official.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do that. You guys can figure out the parade.
Only if you wear a crown.
Thought you were getting your own float.
Boy.
Yes.
So as I said, I don't plan for it, let's just get the verify the research, seeing what I need to try to get from other agencies.
Okay, well, if you come across any barricades that you need to help cross or you have questions, please feel free to reach out. You know where to find us.
Sounds good.
Do we need to touch base again closer to the event, do you think?
Probably gonna be meeting again,
I think we're gonna try and do every 2 to 3 weeks,
yeah,
so,
yeah, I'm sure I'll be on the list, so I'll show up at the next meeting and.
okay,
By then I should have a better idea from what I'm getting from the sheriff's department at least. You know, Port's reserve unit is volunteer
Mhm.
like many, and we just don't always get timely. Oh yeah, I can do that, but no, I can't. We'll see how I do that.
Right.
So.
it's a Saturday in June, so.
The Saturday in June.
That's different.
Exactly. It's fishing out
The
there.
weekend before the 4th of July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
As I said, great work, you know, as long as I can get, especially that heavy equipment, that actually solves a lot. It does solve a lot of our problems, you know, when people always want. Just get through there, but when you got this big dump truck across the road, there's just no argument,
yes,
so.
for sure. Good deal.
All right,
All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you. You can actually skedaddle if you'd like. You're more than welcome to stay, but everybody's time is always valuable, so
thanks.
thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
One of the county judges is retiring, and
Yes.
this gathering was going on.
Ah,
No, right on.
We'll hop out of it.
yes.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Marshall Lee. Okay,
What day do you plan for next week?
I don't know yet.
Because my next, no, I was just looking, I'm looking at my calendar, next 3 Tuesdays. I go from 6 till 7, I have suicide prevention.
So we'll try to pick a different day.
Yeah. Shoot for a different day. So.
Yeah, it's 3 consecutive.
Okay.
I did that.
Do we want to jump back to the book or do we want to move on to some of these other quicker topics?
Maybe get the book over with.
Okay.
Sorry, that sounded terrible. It sounds like a big one, so.
It is a big one, so.
Good for it.
So we want a picture of every, okay, so I started doing that, and then it rained. And then I gotta finish, so it would be fireman's park. It would be that park over here.
Stony Creek.
Yes, I got a picture of that one already.
Freedom.
Freedom Park
Post
I
oak.
got. And then I did, yes, Green Crossing Park, I did that.
There is a park up in.
Off of
like,
Pine Street.
Forest and Pine.
Yeah, what is that? Children's Park, I think it's called.
Okay, see, I didn't know about that.
Are you doing one on YouTube?
It's really small. Yes, why would I think about it? So those are small, like those parks are easy and they're small, so. Does anyone have like a preference as like a vision for the Waterford Park since it's so big? Like where do you think would be a good place to take that picture?
Maybe down by the Monkey Island, they call it,
Yeah, the bridge and one.
where the bridge is, where a lot of people take front pictures.
Corner, yeah.
Okay. I've taken a lot of pictures there. That's scary.
I know that bridge I went through.
Pretty good. Well,
I'm afraid of everything. I screamed bloody murder last night because of the stupid frog and I was trying to weed. Like,
It was
I can't-
cute.
No, it was right by
It's
my
like,
name.
it was stuff you don't want.
You don't understand. Catch it.
I heard you're trying to do it.
Because that's the skating part is the river, but also for being park wise, I'm wondering from the road to the east, going out by the baseball field, something like that, get the,
Baseball
you get
field,
the
the
field
pavilion.
and the playground and the,
That pavilion or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, that's, because that's, that also shows park wise,
Mhm.
I mean, Wabanoni is awesome, but.
You're putting the second baseball.
So I've been working on that the other week.
This is not for going Wisconsin.
Is that New York?
I think so.
What about showcasing like one of the holes for the disc golf course?
I got a picture of that,
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
And then I took of the little Legos thing, I took a picture of that. That's another park, that's a park, right?
Which one?
Is it Veterans Park?
By St. John's.
Oh,
There's a park. I was just driving around, I was like, oh
I think that's all.
So you count local park as being in park, but that's just the ball then. Pretty much, right?
no, I don't think I got a picture of that. I took a picture of that little bridge. And I was all walking
Imagine say that's the ball then.
lines and for the bridge, I took a picture of that, it's pretty.
Stick right around. Yeah. Okay,
I just walked around and took a lot of pictures.
that's awesome.
I'm just,
Took pictures of the main street I had.
I'm trying to think of layout in the book to keep maybe even numbers of images that we're gonna put in there for pictures.
Do we have anything for the school? Because this is, this is the school there.
Wait, what was the school?
This one.
This is the school. Right?
Yeah,
Seriously?
Yep.
I never knew that.
so we went to elementary school back here.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. There we go. But I mean, that's for the village.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right here now. That one.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a picture. Probably been that
Yeah.
was kind of area, because it was kind of like storm clouds. Like there were clouds peeking out, so that's when I went out quick before it rained. And just quick started taking pictures.
What was that school
Good.
called?
This one,
Fair.
this was,
Do you remember what the school was called back over here?
maybe someone tried.
Maple Lawn, right?
This was Maple Lawn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maple
Maple
Lawn.
Lawn, yes.
I wonder if.
I knew it was running something, I was like, Maple.
When was that?
Maple syrup
When was
school.
that?
It was built at Sherman Tank. Was handicapped and not accessible, so they tore it down and built a town village hall. You know, it was a little there, I guess the second one, the state was just quite accomplished.
Yeah, I wonder if we could find an old picture of the school.
I'm sure.
Would you be able to take a nice picture of the new school? New school?
Yeah. Not by the time, just not so much traffic.
Sunday afternoon?
I was 57.
Usually what-
We'll get the marshal to stop traffic on 59.
Good luck with that. We get accidents during the county president, when you open up 57, you catch them 57, yeah, over.
2 or more accidents.
Yeah.
Okay,
I kind of get it else. Bigger.
so then we'll have to start working on the history of the village with the old images that we're able to pull. So Wally, I think we'll probably have to lean on you a little bit to help. Maybe provide some of that. We can do some research on.
Didn't
those.
Stefan have a bunch of pictures? I thought he told me that.
I know he has a lot for the fire department. I can ask him if he's got any within the village.
I remember he was like telling me he has pictures of my house.
I can ask him.
Yeah. It was like a priest's house, and like a nunnery. So it was like part of the church. Yes, that sounded weird if you don't know what to text.
I've got a video where I have to sit and actually listen and write down everything he told me. I got the whole tour of the town and driven around and told exactly like everything he was pointing out and stuff. And
Who is this?
It's Jerry, you know, Jerry.
Jerry
Weinberg.
Weinberg. Jerry Weinberg.
Yeah, so Jerry's uncle, Peter, happened to be in town, he had all these photo albums and
It's awesome.
I came over, I was just like, we can go over and see my uncle Peter Hill. And we drove around, he drove around in his van and he told, pointed and showed, and I was just like, I was like, wow, this is like really cool.
It's amazing. Not
I was
that.
like, I'm sorry, you're probably bored, you're like, no, you're not, like, I love this sort of stuff.
More about Peroni now than a lot of people.
Probably, it's really kind of cool, I mean, just, it was just so nice, that he was so excited to tell.
My house was actually part of a hostage situation like 20+ years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was some guy that held his wife and daughter hostage.
Boy.
And they tear gassed the house, like all the windows and everything got blown out, but the school was on lockdown. Cause my neighbors actually had to like hide in the basement. They were like 2 and 5 years old
Hmm.
when I was in my house. And to this day, I still get like a white powdery residue on my windows.
That's weird.
It's crazy. I'm on walls, not windows. Yeah, it's crazy. But it was tear gassed over 20 years ago.
That's insane.
Well, there's a house on the road, yeah, that used to be a barber,
It's like-
Yeah.
like, they had like the stair going down, the barber tower.
Hmm.
So you're really looking for people to write articles.
I am. If somebody can help put some words together, I'll talk to Ken Steffen and see if he's got any pictures and then I'll do, if I can get him on video. To help tell some stories behind that, but if we can have volunteers to maybe help write some of these. They're not super long. Like, we don't have a ton of room to be putting in a lot, but just a good brief history of what it is and. I think would be.
Well,
Would be
we
good.
can't put it in the book. We don't have time.
Mhm. For sure. Anybody want to volunteer to help write some articles? Maybe once we get pictures, we can try and put some words together. Maybe a couple of us can sit down and hammer it out. Maybe that would be better.
All the time during the day or something. I would have, I take like. Just.
Yeah. And I mean, Chris is,
Can happen.
not that I'm volunteering Chris, but Chris is good at wordsmithing. So if at the very least we give him, you know, a write up, he can make it, yeah, book worthy or whatever.
Yes, I have to listen to my videos and just type it up tomorrow while I'm kind of working.
Okay. So I'll reach out to Kim this week, and see what I can get from him, and then I'll let you guys know what I come up with. And then let's plan that. And then they're working on, before you got here, we don't have the rights to print these photos. So they're working on trying to get that. So Natalie's got a, so that we can utilize.
Where do we need? Who owns them?
The Wisconsin or Port Washington Historical Society, the Luxembourg Historical Society.
Yeah,
So,
those are the same pictures he has in his book.
so if he's, yeah, if he's got them and they're his, then I think we should be able to use them, but.
They're actual pictures, they're not copies, they're actual printed pictures,
Um,
like on the old
Mhm.
picture boards, so.
she should be able to use them then, as long as we give her the full name of who it is, we can give the photo credits. Appropriately. I would think so. I think you have to purchase the rights for them. If I saw correctly somewhere, I think it was like $20 a photo or something like that for the rights to it, so. But they'll, I think Michelle and Chris will meet with them and see what we can do. So I'm not gonna stress quite yet. Okay, so Wally's working on the interviews with notable residents, so we'll touch base with you on that. And then our then and now picture, so if we can do the then and now of the school. Is there any particular notable areas that we also want to include with our then and nows?
Original fire station, fire station. Just
Does anybody know what this guy does?
Not sure.
Oh, yeah, he's. Too soon. Too soon.
Oh. I just would have jumped in, but I'm like, nope.
I've heard
My fingers were itching.
so many people like.
I just laughed up.
Yeah, obviously, Dad, you know.
This. Oh.
I love Kevin Cross using it on a different one, his
Mhm.
exact same phrase.
I saw.
And-
It's like, gee, that was original.
Right, no, but that was, I mean.
It was funny. Perfect.
It's a perfect back in. Anyways,
The Fredonia Government Center.
Oh, yeah.
then now she does school and then they go.
Was the school ripped down and then right away this was built or?
No, the school was back up here,
Mhm.
and that was torn down. Trying to think when that was knocked down,
Fourth grade, I would.
but it was
It was the late eighties, wasn't it?
You're talking about the schoolhouse that was here?
Yeah,
It actually was a little further up this way, but then they ran its foundation, found some actually busing. They moved it back and forth.
right,
And
but when
then,
they knocked it down. For good, because there was a maple lawn here, just.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. It was a park, it was Maple Lawn Park.
And this is what we were trying to get. Or this was trying to get our new fire station was gonna be built.
All right.
But then it's. And then the town said, oh, we'll go. But I'm like, oh, why don't we do it all together? And we can't do it. Then you have to go through a referendum, and you have to go through the. And they referendum for it every year. But anyways.
Also too soon. All right.
All right, what else? We've got school, fire station, government center. Do we want to showcase any business or
You say like the downtown in general, like if you could do like a downtown shot of what it looks like
Like-
now,
towards the lumber?
Yeah,
yard
and then- right? There's
Cause
probably-
the hall and the bar that used to be here and the grocery store, hardware store that was up there. Would there be historical pictures on all that?
There are some good pictures of like looking down. You know, from. I don't know if there's- So I think there is some stuff to take a look and. It'd be kind of cool. To stand in like the same spot and take the same photo type thing, you know what I mean?
I thought that's what you were doing.
Trying.
Okay, perfect.
I guess since we have the old ones, then it's easier to. make
Yeah.
New ones, just recreate it.
Yeah, see what you have.
See what we can get, yeah, available.
Right.
I mean, I've been going around just taking pictures on days when.
When it's not raining?
When it's not raining, and it really actually the overcast days are actually the better of the days, the pictures are much sharper, like. The ones like right before storms,
Yeah.
it's that moodiness from it, it's kind of neat.
Well, and to that aspect, even if we don't use some of those in this booklet, please submit them if you don't mind. So
We can
we can
have
use them. Yeah, well, that way we can use them on our website and social media and things like that too, you know, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of the things we've done.
Lots of fun to take pictures, that's.
Okay. Awesome, thank you.
All right, and then open for interpretation. Do we want anything on the back cover aside from the photo that's actually from this concept?
Be cool to do something like a. Like a thank you or something on the back, you know, some sort of. I don't know how or whatever, but
Or notable village members too, like. People, you know, like Wally who served, or people,
Mhm.
you know, people who made a big contribution. I know like Bob Rassack was one of them.
yeah.
Gene Meyer, like notable people.
Mhm.
And I mean, you can even list Noah and Owen Miller for what they've done, or.
Yeah,
Notable people.
that's not a bad idea, just kind of come up with like a list of like. Just so it's not so.
If you do something like. Oh, and then. I would say do your research, because there's, years ago, there was. Someone who got in the NFL from here,
Mhm.
so you don't wanna just.
Yeah, yeah.
Have two new, you know,
Yep,
if we're gonna do that, I would research and find anything, because that. We don't need more comments.
Don't trust me, okay, so.
We can't.
No.
Come on.
I mean, as funny as that would be,
Laura, did you want the future, like the industrial park, what's coming in?
I think we'll do a write-up. Yeah, we'll do like a write-up on what's new and what's coming and.
or that could
the
be,
industrial
that
park.
could be something kind of back to like the future, like, you know,
Yeah.
talk about different things that are coming. So, options,
I guess it depends on my.
yeah.
I mean, we can definitely add pages if it comes to it. That's not, as long as we do it in the right amount of pages and everything, synergies and our signatures, I mean, so.
This is great though, I mean, heck, we're getting there now, you know?
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
She was nervous.
Was she? She's really perfect.
Yeah, I think this is,
Reality?
no, she just, I think she was, just want to make sure it looks right. You know, I mean, anytime an artist or anybody's putting something together, you're
Right.
nervous that it's gonna be wrong or you missed the call, so, but I think she did a great job, so. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, she'll hear it.
Yep. Okay, anything else we can think of on the commemorative book as we're getting that written up?
Any thoughts of quantity and what's being done with them?
No, not quantity. We haven't really talked about that yet. I know we had talked about selling them. For how much, I'm not entirely certain yet. I guess it's gonna depend on how many we print and how much it's gonna cost us to print them, so. How many fire department books did you guys print?
I want to see either 300 or 500.
You think you sold a good chunk of them?
I gotta see what's in Michelle's office, because I think there was a box there, but I mean, we've got, I think there are boxes of 60, so whatever. I mean, I think we've got 1 or maybe 2 boxes left. So,
Was there like a minimum to order or price break after X amount of quantity?
yeah, there's price position, oh, I mean, we weren't getting crazy. We just wanted to make sure that we had enough to. Because, for example, all the sponsors, they got free book, they got a book included. Fire department's got one, that was included, and 7 and then members, then honorary members and stuff like that, so we just wanted to make sure we had. We under purchase shirts and over purchase books.
Well, shirts were awesome.
Yeah.
They are nice. Mine's very staticky though.
Yeah, mine too.
Everybody else is really static. They're really nice.
I'm sure.
So maybe we look at 200 books.
Yeah, so let's look at, you know, what it all costs to print and all that stuff too, and then.
Get a price break on, 100, 200, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, you guys are sold.
We did not pre-sell the books before they went to print. But we did start throwing them out for selling them before, because we did, and this is something to consider. If you're gonna sell them, don't think about selling them in that day,
Yeah.
because now you're turning up more people, and it's, then that's the reason why we did it beforehand up here and marketing and stuff like that, because also people are gonna buy them and carry them around.
Agreed. Yeah, I like this idea. I mean, it's nowhere near as big, right? I mean, it's something like, hey, we did something and it showcases different things, but it's not nearly as involved as, with history and everything the fire department was. I think, our purpose of this isn't to raise money off, but you know what I mean? So. Yeah, I like it.
Any other thoughts or questions? All right, then we'll just kind of plug away and I'll reach back out once I talk to Kim and see if we can get some photos and then start getting together and write some articles or some notes on it. Okay, should we move on? Everybody's good? You want to talk about the tents?
So I was waiting to hear back on the stage size.
Follow up with Chris.
And then as soon as I get the stage size, I can order for the tent.
I know we heard from,
We do not want chairs or tables.
correct,
We're supposed to call somebody.
were you?
And then also with that, I was going to have, see about them bringing the dunk tank.
Yes,
So as soon as I get that information, I will pull the trigger on the tent.
okay. We heard back from Pretty when she's angry and she needs 350 square feet.
So last time we had a 16 by 20.
It was too big.
Well, we were talking about making it smaller.
320.
Your calculator says.
16 by 20 is 320.
Mhm.
So do we want to stick with 16 by 20? Or she needs more than that?
She said 350 square feet is ideal. We based it off of the band that we have. Who is
Who's
this
in the band?
member?
What's the drum?
Whiskey Throttle, yeah.
I would go by them, they're gonna say,
Yeah,
they're the bigger.
I haven't gotten, I sent the information to Chris and I haven't heard anything back.
Okay,
From
let's
him.
say
But you can book, but they're booked, right?
Whiskey Throttle is booked, yes.
So it would, I would think it's in their contracts. If you've got a contract, with them, there's usually
Requirements and stuff.
requirements that needed, and that's a big one that's usually in their contracts.
Mhm.
You've been able to at least reserve the tent for that weekend yet, or?
I have not, but I will. We just got the book. Now I go ahead and contact them and tell them, sure.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be ideal.
Mhm.
And then I was going to see about them having bringing the dunk tank when they set up the tent, but I'm guessing that we're gonna have to pay for extra days for the dunk tank if we have it here.
I mean, I can always go see if I can get it in the morning if they're open on Saturday.
I can find out when they're not maybe like that.
Yeah, if they're gonna charge us for an extra day, let me know and I'll pick it up early or, early. on Saturday.
Otherwise,
It says,
40 by 80.
That's what we did last time.
And this is based on, yeah, the, requirements from the last. Fire code, predominantly from the flood. But I think.
You recall, was that the same size that you guys said?
it's either 20 by 80 or 40. It's 40 wide.
Okay, I feel like
I feel like it was longer. I feel like it was 4,500.
Yeah.
I think that the space worked out well. Check on pricing, I guess.
I think it's always, I mean, if it's not considerably more, I think it makes sense, just because you can't predict the weather, so if it does. Already,
Well,
you
there's-
know, at least be under the tent.
All right, so when 40 by 100, you can still join the sidewalks. You want the lights, but no tables and chairs. And then the stuff for the stage. And then I will call them.
Yeah, I would be, I mean, I would be, depending on what they would do for the Dunkins, if they bring it at the same time as the tent, depending on what that cost was, if it's $50 more. It might be worth it versus you doing out there and learning.
I mean, I think they want the flexibility to move that into the tent. So
Yeah. I think ask those questions, ask those questions of what would it cost if they drop it off, when they drop off the fence and. So,
Okay, and you're gonna visit them in the face.
yeah, I just shot Chris another note to have him follow up with that again.
I will make a call this one of the units.
Yeah, Eric is working on that. He would, Eric DPW is working on the porta potties, and then I'll also touch base. We had purchased a bunch of garbage cans for the Fund Before the Fourth 2 years ago, so we should have all of that. He'll work on getting a dumpster there for the day of. Picnic tables we'll bring in. We'll talk about, those schools. I think the fire department had a bunch of schools for tables. So I think we'll utilize those again as well, because they worked well. People tend to stand and chat versus sitting down. Going back to the parade, we still have to think about Grand Marshal. Just a heads up, maybe next time we can come with some ideas of who that would be, who we would wanna have. Did you have a chance to talk to the other fire departments?
Not yet,
Okay.
but that's.
Okay.
So I'm glad that you just listed those with one of us, we don't have to be part of.
It was more so because I know you guys are doing it.
Solid, yeah.
I did call, or I emailed Mrs. Harsey at the school about having some sort of input into the time capsule, and she was like, absolutely will help. I will have staff member reach out to you, and I have not heard from staff member, but. And then I also emailed both the junior high and high school principals to see if they thought there'd be any interest, and I heard zero back from them. But I was only days ago. So. But it sounds like, at least from the elementary school, they might be like wanting to come up with a list of things they think should go in the time capsule, or at least get them started.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
as I hear more, I will.
Sounds good. Basketball tournament, I don't know if there's anything that we need to do.
No, I did talk to Dan Meyer, and they have a meeting on the 6th of May, and then it's on their agenda to discuss what they're going to do. So we will know by that time we meet again.
That's being done by the school board.
The Warrior Girls Basketball Association. We did secure the 2 new, they're not up yet.
Those are the whole ones.
Those are the old ones.
So we'll make sure that they're up and painted and everything. Okay. Anything else we're missing? I did put on here just the schedule in the front, so it wasn't just a picture of me being Vanna. For everybody, so. I know we're meeting with the Lions in a couple of weeks. Maybe we can touch base with them on the cornhole tournament, see if there's anything that they need from us for that day.
I think I asked him that, Chris, a month ago, and he said, no, they provide everything, they have everything ready to go, and they'll do signups and all that stuff, and
Okay.
super hands off for us.
Okay.
The only thing I would ask, just for everyone knows, when are they having it?
Right.
When's it starting?
The time.
It's from start to finish, it's about a 4-hour time frame. So, which is good for either, entertainment that, or for the beer garden, for food, so.
How are we doing on vendors for the craft fair?
As of today, I have 17 who signed up,
Nice.
and I am trying to hustle them to pay their registration fee.
Don't ever bring it. Can you?
Yeah, we just need the email for for us to invoice you, yeah,
Let me give you.
okay. And then I just have to give it to
Keep it in there.
yeah, I just had another one sign up, I think yesterday or this morning, so.
Do you know what, I mean, I think I asked you this last time too, but do you know what the mix is of like different?
We've
things?
got different knit crafts. We now have some candy vendor. Was one of the most recent ones that's signed on.
We have sourdough.
Sourdough leaf, pretty dark. Various other types of crafts that are not hand knit, so it seems to be.
Makeup.
Oh, dog treats.
Ooh,
Nice.
I had a question about that though. Because we first, like, our group is trying to schedule out a little bit more, for like the day before and things, because we're meeting next week. And we are. Yes, we are. But, like, when that road is gonna close, because I wanna be able to put together a communication that's gonna go out like the first week of June. That's like, this is how the day of it's gonna go, because we just wanna make sure that we can get outlines of like spaces in the road done the day before, as long as it doesn't rain. But then also like what time we can start having people set up,
we need like a
especially
check-in
with
time.
having the parade and things going in that general direction.
What time, do we have a time for it to start?
So I have it starting at 1, which is a loose time anyway, because
Mhm.
people will be kind of milling about.
Mhm.
But 1 to 5 is for the craft fair.
And then we're doing it, remind me where it's taking place?
It was supposed to be in the road
Mhm.
parallel with like the playground.
So I'm gonna go Parkside Automotive.
Yeah,
So what I would suggest is you should see if we can use that driveway that goes around.
CCS.
And because if that's the case, that would be blocked off, right? So they could go down, Wheeler.
Wheeler.
And they could go around the building and set up that way. That way they don't even have to worry about the parade because it doesn't even really. I mean, I suppose it would end there, but
Yeah,
But then
that-
they're not caring from
a
the.
lot of times. We, like for the phrase that we've done, I mean, for the anniversary, but for, you know, so like for the continued down south of Milwaukee,
mhm.
you know, obviously you're very, very people circle back and get in. But if it's going on that road, I'm just saying this because we know. One of most solutions is add an
Right. Right.
and very worried of people being in this parking lot.
Who?
Well, I don't think people are gonna be in this parking lot. I think it's just,
Oh, well, but.
yeah, but I know what you're saying.
But if a foot goes on there. Of course, you get it here. I mean, it's unfortunate. When we did the 5K there.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, it was. Make sure that, you know, nobody's in there.
That was in front.
And then we got you again.
It's good. Sure. But throw that on, for running off the speaks.
Oh, I always said really.
but you have to post it as an anonymous purchase.
Think about somebody a jack wagon.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
So anyway.
So where does that Parkside then, where does his property line begin and end?
Well, the parking lot just comes up to the road.
Yeah, I think if we talk to them, maybe we just put
Yeah,
some cones up
It's
and,
communication.
put some cones up and we'll make an effort to make sure that nobody parks there. We'll block it off for them, so there's no issues or anything like that. But if we can
Yeah,
come,
and access around.
Yeah.
Right.
how are you thinking of like marking off chalk? Perfect.
If it, the weather is, yeah, if the weather's great. Otherwise, they roll on ribbon.
Gladly
Well, but it's
donate.
all gravel. Half of that parking is gravel. But
Not the road though.
Like a spray truck?
there's a chalk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's.
Yeah, have you? So are they gonna be back to back or is it gonna be straight?
Two, so it's gonna be adjacent to each other, so, I mean, we were planning on going by that Parkside Automotive. So we're, how many, stands did we determine good fit?
We said 20 for the starting number.
And it's a 10-foot section.
They get 10 by 10 foot spaces.
You think we could close off that road from like the parking lot by the fire department back,
We did
like
last
the
year.
night before, at like
Oh,
5?
To see, I mean, so I don't know if that's open on Saturday.
He's not, his biggest thing is tow trucks and that come through.
So they
To
can get out
access,
of distance.
he wanted access. And he doesn't want people parking. Yeah.
I know from baseball.
Right.
well, I get that. I mean, it's private property, we're just,
He's closed on Fridays and Saturdays.
Right.
So,
But if someone had to have a car towed in.
I mean, I think in emergency, or if somebody has a car towed in, we'd make it work, you know, it's not like anybody would say, no, you can't do it, but,
It's just communication.
But if you've got your craft tent set up in front of there. I mean, you might just need to leave some sort of access.
yeah,
point
correct.
to
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah, we'll talk.
yeah, depending on how far we end up going back in front of the driveway. I say the term we very loosely, I mean. You know what I mean? Okay. Does anybody have a good relationship with that gentleman? Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Oh, it's half the battle. It's more than.
More than you want.
I'm just wondering if somebody stops in,
You can make
And-
Orby chocolate chip cookies and Brighton.
Well, you would. We'd probably let you use the parking lot.
Yeah, little
Make
Brighton
stuff.
goes a long ways. And
maybe
you
chocolate
can-
chip
you can
cookies
be
and
in
with
the
there with some
store.
sourdough bread.
There you go.
Sourdough.
I'm just thinking maybe we stop in and talk to him now as we're, you know, starting the planning of it and, you know, explaining what we're doing. And make sure that,
Let them know that, you know, we're trying to respect his area, you know, this is,
Yep.
we understand this is your property. How can we mark it so that we're not infringing?
Exactly.
yeah, and still allowing him to be able to get through it as needed and.
You can talk to him, you know what
Yeah.
he's saying. And then they're cookies too.
Yeah.
There you go. Cookies, cookies, bread. No one's gonna say no to you. I got the history of, you know, catch a little bread with me, I've heard of the house, they were cutting in the bread and. Perfect. I'm always making bread now.
But yeah, but happy bears going good.
Yeah. And then. Do we want to talk about the other thing? the trailer? You wanna
Yes,
talk about
Trevor, we have a
that?
question for you. Okay, so we have the date locked in for the beer distributor, but until our license is submitted, he can't technically open an account with us. So he said they prefer to deliver the beer trailer Friday night
Yeah.
versus, okay, so how did you guys keep it secure so that you didn't have someone like hook up a trailer? The trailer itself is locked?
Yeah.
I would imagine it's
Yeah, the door locked and then, I mean, the permits are locked.
Like the trailer, okay, and you guys had no issues, you weren't worried about it, did they park it where you wanted it? Or did someone have to like back it into it?
Yes.
And then they picked it up, did they pick it up like that Sunday?
Yeah, they'll pick up, are you guys doing catcher cans?
We're doing cans because,
You are.
yep, speaking with the guy, he said that was an old wives' tale that kegs are cheaper than cans, he said it's a couple cent difference.
Yeah, no, and which is correct. We always, you know, we've always done this because we were doing pictures,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that. So that, I mean, that's the reason. And so, I mean, Kansas is perfectly fine, and that will actually help with the amount of volunteers. Because we had people pouring and people selling
And switching.
and people drinking and then pouring and then selling. But, no, Kansas, you know, that is fine, and it's, you know, I'll tell you. You know, a lot of times. If the cases aren't
Open, they'll kind of like that.
right, so you can have. Some. You know, excess stock in case.
Just make sure you have enough ordered
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll learn from others.
Set on those like.
The time will be set up probably like two, I think.
They'll do it either Thursday,
Yeah,
Okay.
worst case scenario, Friday.
But you're gonna want the tent set up before your trailer gets there.
yeah,
I think when we did it was like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, but they'll handle all that, I mean, when you tell them it's for Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
How many hours?
maybe get double check.
Again? How many hours?
And I don't
do you guys
know.
serve beer?
Make sure the baseball
Like,
field
what time
isn't
do you
being
start?
used Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, no.
In the morning, so you don't have to. worry.
There might be practice
I would
there.
just, like.
I'm just curious, like, what you guys order.
It doesn't come from today's field, but
I mean,
it,
because he could probably pull the information, of what you guys ordered versus what we should.
They should get.
Yeah, that's one day.
I mean, we started, we started early.
Wednesday would be T-ball, which those kids aren't getting big enough, but
No.
even though we get you, I don't have a big issue, but I'll,
Okay.
we're double check.
It's.
or, yeah, once we figure out when the tens come in, then at least mention it, but I don't want the coaches to show up and be surprised.
Right.
What do they do with the lady?
This game's.
I get you, that's the most confused. So, when I'm like, what do they do with like, so you're doing cans? Like, I remember like when I go to Lions Fest, they had like a big thing where people were just throwing just their cans into versus their garbage.
Mhm.
Is that something, I don't remember what it's doing real well.
For recycling.
Well, last year was plastic, there was a lot of, because you guys did
Yeah, we did cups.
cups,
Okay,
so there's a lot of plastic. The year
Okay.
before, we did cans,
The baseball club sold cans.
yeah.
And that went over pretty well, right?
Mhm.
Yes. We had to go back multiple times to the store.
so like if they were recycling and we had, you know, if it was kind of like sorted recycled,
We could take
someone
the
could
cans
go
and
take the cans and yes, and that could be donated back to whatever,
the friends if we're doing.
friends of Verdon. That's all we can do.
What distributor are you guys using?
I think it's called Beer Distributors.
Your company?
Wow, Beer Capital.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Very original. Beer Capital out of, I think, Sussex. I think they're out of Sussex.
Yeah.
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 Is it just like a refrigerated trailer or something?
Yep, he said it's refrigerated and it's $150 like delivery fee that includes the refrigerated trailer.
So. Do you get to pick what you're doing or do they?
Yep, we get to pick. He said like the most popular drinks and then he said like a malt beverage, so he sent a 40-page document of
Yep.
40 pages worth of drinks. Wow. So,
I should send that on. I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Just because I'm curious.
yeah, like I said, we don't have access
See, it's gonna
yet,
have this
so
as
like.
the village.
they-
I took it down in my.
Enjoy it.
Special.
Yeah, special.
Like,
Let's make a referendum. Put like a band, like a, do you hear what I start?
Oh, there you go.
Put it right up on the bar.
Do you hear what I said, make the R word drink?
Oh, don't feel.
I don't feel bad. I just-
Yeah.
We'll be drunk at date.
I'm not worried.
I think the response to the community is pretty healthy that, you know.
He drinks beer.
No,
Of course, I know people's drinks.
other than.
It's engraved.
Neat.
For me,
All right, anything else we need?
did you figure out the porta potties and wash stations?
Eric,
Yeah, just-
our DPW director will.
Good. It just came to me randomly.
Yep, I'm gonna switch behind you guys, so Brianna dropped these off, Michelle just made mention of it. That. It's kind of a look in time almost. They had a bunch of these printed up, that I think PWSB is donated that we could sell if we're interested. So maybe everybody that gets a book gets one of these or whatever we wanna do, so.
Those because I really fill my house.
Yeah. So we do have a bunch of these,
They just printed those?
I think so, or they,
They had it because the bank have those. In their various things, so that's been, they've had that for a while. Cause then they got one for, or they got one for now, just.
So,
Well, they are expanding, so they're probably trying to get rid of stuff.
This great onions?
They're hitting on like 800 square feet or something like that. It's gonna look, and they're redoing the entire facade outside, it's gonna look really neat.
And the insides, like, has like the kid thing or whatever.
It's on planning commission on Monday.
So we have those available as well that we can do something with.
You know, something that we didn't talk about, we did that coin dig, which is whatever. But do we need any sand or anything there? Cause something that we could do again, the kids loved it, just was way too quick, you know?
To do another coin dig?
I just,
What the heck is that?
I personally say no, but if that's as a parent, because I hate sand.
like,
Oh, they're like, look, yes.
I hate it.
Usually it's a big.
Yes.
I don't
want
want people to see.
I just, this is like, we didn't talk about it.
We didn't. I'm okay with not doing it.
It's fine.
If we need sand for the park, that'd be great, but.
Someone did mention on the Fredonia page the other day that some of the playground equipment was broken or something at that park. Is it something that can be fixed before?
I was gonna
This
take
evening?
a gander down there and see
Okay,
what
'cause I
they were
have no
talking
idea
about.
what
I
it is.
haven't
Yeah,
had a
what'd
chance to
they
check
say?
it out either, but
But I just don't.
it was just that there was.
They're broken.
Yeah, and they.
Everything on this page, I literally miss everything and I approved the post and I still miss it. Like, oh, I like approved this out of my head. Bye.
Yeah, someone just said it was that park in particular that had some broken equipment. So if it's something,
It was like in the comments, it wasn't.
Oh.
yeah, but if we could just get that.
It's actually down in the comments, it from one thing to a totally different topic where. they
I
just
go
spun-
in there with my kids and I've never noticed it. Like, I really go in there and go down the slides.
I'll go take a peek and see if there's anything broken and I'll address it with Parks and DPW director. Make sure that all is okay. I did reach out to the train guy, haven't heard back yet. I left him a message, so
Yeah, that's huge.
fingers crossed.
Going back to posts.
Oh my.
This is purely constructive. In person, but. The 150 is, it has to be posted and posted and posted. We talked about it 2 months ago, it got created in one post. And in all honesty, I mean, because this is such a big thing, and. I'm not saying this is frustrating, but there's people, you know. That talk about it's like, oh, there's another post for the mudroom, which is in the end of July, and there's nothing, and this is huge.
Right.
There's been nothing, no promotion of any of the bands.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we have one initial creation of the event, and now
Yeah.
and
Suggestions.
and who runs that one, usually good at throwing stuff out.
Right.
Yep.
But that's not, I mean, because we're less than 2 months.
Yep.
And even so that way, it's because less than 2 months on a holiday, people start booking and scheduling things.
Right.
So.
Agreed.
Flyers for that.
That was one of the next things. I'm glad you brought that up because it kickstarted something else, so.
I have a question too, speaking of like it being such a busy weekend and that stuff is normally booked out like months, if not 6 months to a year in advance. Do we have a backup plan if the tent company happens to be booked for that day? Is there a backup company?
I can call this in Sheboygan. But.
We will make sure we have a tent.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I'll touch base with Chris on what that cadence is for social media and try and get a schedule from him. I know he does a lot of like scheduling of posts, so maybe that's the case, but we'll find out.
I mean, even just get whiskey thrown in it.
Yeah, just start.
And have them put it on theirs.
Yeah, they were supposed to back in like March. I think it's on their schedule.
Because then they can be
Right.
tagged on our event.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
Yep.
that's really the marketing, that's only marketing,
Yeah.
it's huge.
For
If
sure.
everyone like goes in and tell your friends and tell everybody just to comment on, you can't just like it or heart it, you know, you've got to actually put the phone looking for it, because you can't wait, you know, something really basic. And the more that we get the comments underneath these posts, they're gonna bump them up. So it's- we all have to go in there and tell everybody, okay, hey, can you just text your friend?
Oh, no, and the way that people comment on promote stuff, there's no worries.
Somebody's good at getting the community involved. We'll have it next week.
I got it, so whenever you guys set up the next meeting, but I'll.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
My next thought that I had before was about advertising, flyers, things like that. I do want to have one drawn up, you know, an 11 by 17 or whatever that we can start hanging up around the village and things. And then, so we need somebody to develop those, and then I also want to start thinking about developing the art for the banners. Cause I'd like to put those up as well. A couple weeks before, obviously.
What banners?
I'm computer.
We would do, like we did for the fun before the 4th, we had just event banners, like the week before, 2 weeks before that we put up 1 by 57. We'd like to do one up in the school, 1 by Wabadonia, maybe one up front here. Just additional advertising, like, say, don't
Probably
forget,
4.
but I would at least 4. But I think that would be a good start, probably 3 by 6 or 3 by 8 feet, roughly,
I would do 4, at least 4.
4 feet.
Jason will probably tell you, yeah. I don't remember how big the ones that we did for Hitchcock. They were huge in our back there.
For ours, they were 4 by 6,
For,
and we did 2 up on
57.
57, so on an angle.
Yep.
We did. 1 or 2 by, both. For Martin at 57. And then up on I and H. We had 1 there.
Mhm.
I think that's, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's, we did 5 total.
357, 1 by Casey's, 1 by I and H. Did you have one in front of the fire department?
Yeah,
so 6 of them?
I think we did 6 of them.
6.
Total.
And then we want to take the date on.
Yeah, we learned last time when we did ours for the celebrate or fun before the 4th that it was way too much copy on there, so we want to keep it simple.
Yeah, no, he's been about, I
Um,
think it's simple.
Yeah. So I don't,
He knows what, he didn't, like, remember how, I don't remember how like all the, in the gym, like all those banners and he used to have up there, those were fun. He did.
okay. Can he do the design of them too, or just print them?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, he just needs an idea, just kind of, you know, he wants to know kind of what he like.
Sure.
I'll get on and stuff. I'll bring it back with him.
Do we have someone who's gonna take the lead on design then?
I can, if you guys, does anybody remember what we did for the last one before the 4th?
No.
I do.
So you
I
have
don't
the
know
old
where
stuff,
my
and
email-
people up, things like that.
Yeah, that's, it was like a jumpstart thought that I was having, if we would do something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to look on my computer. I think I have it at home on my computer. I can print it off for our next meeting, just to kind of give us a jump start of what we're looking at. unless you have it.
No, I was just thinking about where it would be, and I think it's something like,
I know I have it on my computer at home, so I'll print it out and we can kind of fuss with it a little bit, just get some ideas of what things.
It's just kind of frustrating, Whiskey Throttle doesn't even have our event,
They don't, Pretty When She's Angry does though. The Whiskey Throttle does not.
yeah, they have a Newburgh Fireman's Picnic on May 31st, but that's all they have. And then one in November, so somebody's got to contact them, tell me.
Well, I have a note to Chris. If he doesn't respond today, then I'll take it back.
Relationship to business, vice president. Oh, I have to write down that official. It's AN.
Okay. And then the flyer. I think once we kind of figure out what the banner should say, we can figure out what we want to do with the flyer too, but. I can see if I get some promo stuff from Whiskey Throttle and Pretty When She's Angry, include them on there. Huge, and then the schedule of events.
Next thing.
So,
Talking about you. For the.
They're just, again, this. Been local over to their toys and then.
No, we have to
So it's like both bands now, and it's.
Yeah, we just make copies.
I'm pretty sure it
Let's make a copy before we do.
I'm pretty sure.
They pray down there,
I wonder, is that something that the beer company would maybe print? We advertise beer sales too?
They have new. They don't do a whole lot of that anymore.
No.
A lot of times they do is they'll do like they've got like a. They can do like a little. They have on like on the trailer, they can do like one of those lighted digital. LED, menu boards, and stuff like that for. For the beers, the costs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know. How much more they do. They even respond.
Yeah, they would print flyers all the time, posters or whatever for,
Those printers to those.
yeah. I know that we never
Yeah.
use them, but I don't know.
What
How many flyers?
Not a lot. 20, 30 maybe,
How many?
20, 30, 50 maybe.
Okay.
And I can print them at my work too for nothing.
I mean, he has to run, he's got a run machine and that's too.
Yeah, I'd run off a Xerox copier, but
And we did that in about businesses.
Mhm.
They're about to use,
for sure.
retail places.
Hang them all up.
I can definitely go around during the day on my vacation. I'm right here.
That would be good.
But for things, we had dogs.
This style.
Did you stop? Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's all, that'd be good.
And then you have to. put it down.
Great.
Okay, so June is. You have to write.
All right, anybody have anything else they want to discuss?
Well, it's in the last 5 years.
Just like quick question, children for. So. The baseball, they're doing through too.
No,
Just, they're gonna have their concession stand open and have beer and stuff selling out of Oak Park.
just during their,
They're doing like a baseball game or baseball tournament or something like,
Just so. So, that'll be all.
it was the fire department.
Right, yeah, I mean, just long as 7 years. Communication of that, because I know she was on the game thing about the concession stand, so I just wanted to clarify. That's just stuff over there for the.
Yeah.
yeah, for fireworks, because I think what's gonna happen is a lot of, how it got messed up because of last year. And so we're gonna make it very, very clear that if you wanna see the fireworks, they're gonna be over. The best scene from over there, they'll have their concessions over there for beer or whatever, so people can sit in outfield or in the infield and watch them. So that's the thought.
And then for, was it the last? Try out, was that something? We were doing our last ones, like just right there.
We want to.
Was Chris talking to her about something? I know we had talked about it at the last meeting.
I know she was putting in a permit for the peddler's permit, so. Not that that has to do with anything.
Do we want to do that? Do we want to bring in another vendor? What?
No.
What's the scoop? Ice cream for there?
For the day of
Mhm.
I could say this for a couple hours.
I mean, they only come for a couple hours at a time and then they would.
Did we talk about that last time?
We did talk about it. I don't know. No, you guys are it for food. No pressure. Fire department.
No, but I mean, like,
All you.
cupcake free,
No,
I mean, because we had cupcake free and anything that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I just didn't know if that was part of the draft. It was something different, because I mean. Like ones,
What did you guys have for dessert?
we did it, so cupcake free, there was an ice cream, but I don't know if it was a scoop or was it, was that? You know what I mean?
Did ice cream like a truck there?
Yeah, food trucks.
How did I miss that?
I did too.
The drum?
You miss a lot.
I saw
Yeah.
it.
Over my head.
Yeah, like cheese.
Not,
That was the one that we did when Mr. Tony was there.
no, ours was just cheese, dessert, package. So it's cupcake free, and then one people doesn't always make the mini donuts, there's mini donut food truck. Those kind of things,
Actually, we should have contacted those people.
I mean, those are nice
I mean,
draws.
I'm looking at you because of.
No, it's totally fine. I actually. Do you know the mini donut company name? They're gonna ask for hours. Do we want them to come at like 2-ish, 1:30? Maybe. If the program's at 1. Maybe they can start coming at 1:30 and they could stay for 2 hours or something.
Totally.
Anytime between 1:30 and 6.
Yeah. Whatever they're doing.
I know what you have a court number piece, yeah.
Trevor, where did you guys put them?
June, you're not due till June 3rd, June 30.
Were they in that,
They were
in that
on
parking
the
lot?
road, we never.
Oh, yeah.
do
I did that.
Just past the, or in.
I did that last time.
That's the fire on the other side.
Oh,
So
okay.
and I've already wait. Just past our program.
Okay.
They were just parking on.
You should have said it was your related.
What time did you guys have those about?
That's right, that was right ahead.
They were over like 2 hours.
I'm just wondering if I was going, because I love it for like 2-3 hours, something like that. I think I have.
Two different times, but I think it's Friday. Right.
Okay, I don't like this. Okay, keep in mind those placards are right.
Okay. Yeah, if you could send it over to me, I'll reach
Yeah,
out to
because
what's
we,
the
it's not part of the draft. People definitely to the people.
And I didn't know what you guys were doing for food as far as that.
Right, we're just doing the normal.
Yeah.
I have a tiny face. Like that's so unfair.
All right, that's enough.
Not supposed to be.
All right, let's talk about next meeting. When do we want to touch base again?
June 30th.
With the leftover.
Beer, right?
With the leftover.
Yes. make
Yeah.
sure- in case of everything.
We do have to test it out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we'd be looking at the week of May 13th.
Not the Tuesday.
Yeah.
I can't do Tuesdays or Thursdays. Like, for June. But don't use that to schedule your lives.
Wednesday, the 15th? Or Monday, the 13th? You guys have practice on Mondays, right?
What's that?
You guys have practice on Monday?
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
at 7 o'clock.
He's like.
However, this is the fifth Tuesday, we don't have training.
Sorry.
You can use me all over.
But I won't be able to that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Not that, I guess, gotta go around again. Pretty.
I mean, we could do it Thursday before the board meeting and just keep it to an hour.
I'm available any day except Tuesday. Since I have that training for 3 weeks, from 6 until 7.
I'm sorry, Lauren, did you say,
I can't do Tuesday or Thursday nights.
Okay.
After like next week. Or a month.
I'm gonna have a conflict either way, so just schedule it and I'll figure out some way to. Get
Too much.
every single day that week, it's just stupid, so.
Every day is too good.
every day is stupid, Except Tuesday.
Except Tuesday.
Oh.
So I'm free that Tuesday also, actually.
one day on my calendar, I don't have any.
Yeah.
But I can just work that, like, I have good night, like,
Right.
What if we do Tuesday, so.
I just be a little late.
Oh, you're not here that week anyways.
Right, yeah.
Tuesday, May 14th,
Tuesday.
May 14th at 7. Does anybody have any objections?
Today was that?
Tuesday, May 14th at 7. How bad is that conflict for everybody?
I went to 6:45, so
Well, then you better not be late.
I might be, depends on that beer trip. It's my last one. You have a choir concert?
Middle school choir. Middle school. high
Isn't
school.
it on Thursday?
No.
Oh, that's right.
It's on the
Maybe choose
14th.
band from Tuesday to Thursday. They've been not.
Let's schedule it.
That's right.
And that's
Are you
technically.
supposed to be that Tuesday?
All right.
I can always
My
touch base
first
with you
night
before. Okay.
For the summer, and I'm like, oh, by the way. we're-
Yes,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.